For the first time in my career, I am scared to do this reaction. The Cars Conspiracy by Alex Bale. Now, Alex Bale does a lot of crazy things. I don't even have to explain that if you clicked on this video. You know that, SpongeBob, all these Barney, anything you can think of, Incredibles. He's done a conspiracy theory. Sometimes the conspiracy theories are just like cool little things, but I don't think this one's going to be like that. I think this is going to be one that could possibly ruin the movie for me. If it's true enough, which, you know, usually they are. But hey, anyways, guys, I know it's been a month since I uploaded. My bad. I've been busy just doing business meetings, stuff like that. You know, it's crazy stuff going on. So subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Here we are with the Alex Bale reaction, the Cars theory. The reason why I'm really scared is because Cars was my movie. You know, Toy Story and Cars were the thing I watched when I was a youngin, a youth. That's all I watched. It's all I loved. It's all I knew. So I don't want this to be ruined for me. All right? All right, guys? Anyways, let's get into reaction. Sorry.
Do you really expect me to believe that?
Well, you should.
Oh yeah, and by the thumbnail, it looks like Mater is about to be like the villain of this, and I love Mater, so, you know, okay, let's just get into it.
Sure too.
So, Cars is a weird franchise.
What was that insinuating?
The world in the Cars movies is like ours, except for the small detail that everything is cars instead of humans.
Yep, literally, quite literally.
Which is a very weird premise for a movie franchise, and
you know, I always wondered if that was a Michael Jordan reference.
Which
like,
is a
Lightning
very
Queen
weird
supposed to be
premise
the Michael
for a
Jordan
movie
of Cars?
franchise, and it only gets weirder the more you think about it. Here are just a few things that everyone always loves to bring up. In Cars 2, we see a car pope riding in a sentient Pope-mobile, so Catholicism
everyone
exists
hated
in this
Cars 2.
universe,
I loved
which
it, bro.
implies there was
I loved
a
all the
Jesus
Cars movies.
Chrysler who died
3
for
is
our
iffy.
car sins. There is a Cars TSA, which implies Cars 9/11 probably happened. There is a World War II Army veteran car, so this universe also probably had Car Hitler and every other historical figure and tragedy.
So it's literally our world, but just cars. Understandable.
Now, there has already been endless discussion about these movies, and the question that everyone loves to ask the most
I've never seen a Cars theory
what
before
exactly are cars? Because how can cars exist without humans? Everything about the way they look has clearly been specifically designed by and for humans. I mean, what purpose do these tiny little door handles have in sentient car world? So, because of this, a lot of people like to believe that Cars takes place in some kind of post-apocalypse after all the humans died out. Maybe
Okay, that's like such a theory for every cartoon that has speaking things that aren't humans. There's the Bikini Atoll theory for us that Alex Bale brought out for SpongeBob, but that one actually is kind of believable. I don't know about this Cars. I don't know.
there was an AI smart car uprising, or
see, that doesn't make sense to me if they're insinuating the history went down the exact same way. Unless there's some, I'm coming up with theories now, unless there's some sort of alternate universe here where, like, say the atomic explosion was so crazy, the cars like inherited all of our history.
maybe somehow
that
the humans became their cars or whatever. And for years, people have debated this, and no one can agree on what the cars actually are. Not even the creators, who all have conflicting things to say about this franchise. But I think the answer is actually pretty obvious. If you look at just the Cars movies themselves, and not the different creator interviews, or the Pixar theory, or Easter eggs from other movies, then it becomes pretty clear that this world has never had humans in it. I mean, first off, we can clearly see that throughout all the history of this world, everything has always been cars, even all the way back to dinosaur cars.
I don't know much about these dino things.
I know the logo for Dino Co. kind of looks like a real dinosaur for some reason, but other than that one contradiction, it's just straight up car dinosaurs. It's always been cars.
What
the Earth is in the shape of a car. Alright,
and I know people like to say, oh, maybe the cars are just recreating human history. But even if that's somehow true, the human theories still don't make sense because in the Cars world, everything is cars.
Yeah.
And when I say everything,
why is this scary? Why are you playing the scary music?
Everything.
This is paranoid.
The animals in this universe are cars. The plants are cars. Literally, the mountains and clouds are car or vehicle shaped. This is not a world where just humans were replaced by cars. This is a world where everything, even the physical world itself, is car-shaped.
The
we
Earth,
can even see a periodic table for just a few seconds.
I was correct right there. Okay.
Background of Cars 2. That's
Where's
been
this
renamed
going, Alex?
to
Where
the
is this going?
automotive table of elements. And it's unfortunately too small and blurry to read, but there is a full-size version of this poster in Disney California's Cars-themed area that seems to show us that even the elements themselves have been renamed to car puns. And I like to think that this implies that even on an atomic level, the elements themselves that make up this universe are also
the atoms are car-shaped.
So no, I do not believe that humans ever existed in this world. This
I'm
is
in
just
agreement
an alternate
there.
reality
I'm
where
in
things
agreement
are
there.
car-shaped. And I think there are two possible explanations as to why.
And those
you can either take a carvolutionist perspective and assume this is a universe where the car shape just happens to be the most efficient shape for survival and entropy, kind of like how we can see the golden ratio spiral everywhere in our world, or like how different animals can independently evolve into crabs because the crab shape is just so badass. Or we can take a carrationism perspective and assume there is an all-powerful car god out there that has shaped and renamed the world into his image. We do know there is religion.
That would make sense. This would make sense the most, because if you think about it, everything being perfectly car-shaped is like, you know, it's like in our world, you know, not everything is human-shaped. My camera I'm looking at right now, not my monitor, not human. You know what I'm saying? So for it to be everything like, bro, a mountain in the background shaped like a car, kind of crazy.
That has shaped and renamed the world into his image. We do know there is religion in this world, and there has been mentions of a manufacturer in place of the word God.
Thank the manufacturer, you're alive!
So, you know, maybe Car God did it. So that is my Alex Bale take on all of these Cars theories. I am sorry if that's not as fun or dark and edgy as a post-apocalyptic human theory, but I think it's undeniably what the actual movies themselves support. Now that basically covers all the stuff that everyone loves talking about with the Cars movies. But the real reason I'm making this video is because there's still something that most Cars theories never talk about. Something that most theorists just pretend doesn't exist because it makes the weird and convoluted Cars franchise look tame in comparison. Yes, that is correct. This is no longer a Cars theory video. This is a theory about Mater's tall tales.
If I'm lying, I'm crying.
If I'm lying, I'm crying.
Cars is a weird franchise, but the weirdness is kind of contained to the fact that they are sentient cars. Other than that, they're just kind of normal people doing normal things. Except for when it comes to Mater.
My name's Mater.
Mater is God theory?
Like Mater, but without the tuh.
Mater is Lightning McQueen's best friend, and he's kind of a dumb, lovable tow truck who was born in Radiator Springs. Or I guess maybe in a mansion. They kind of
1957, Mater?
retconned it in the new Disney Plus show. And he's just a pretty normal, simple guy.
He won 3 piston cups.
He did what in his cup?
Except for the fact that he keeps accidentally ending up in weird, impossible situations. Like how in Cars 2, he accidentally became an international spy for the entire movie.
Agent? You mean like insurance agent? Like a good neighbor, Mater is there.
Like, yo, is this guy not the GOAT, bruv? Like, please don't ruin this. Like, please don't ruin this character for me, Alex. Actually, maybe it's gonna add more depth. I'm gonna go in with the positive attitude.
Hated by the Queen.
PMA, bro. Positive attitude, bro.
Mater.
And if you thought Cars 2 was a weird departure for the Cars franchise, well then prepare.
I actually might have been one of the rare few people who loved it. Like, when I was a kid, bro, I would go to Blockbuster and rent Cars 2 every week or two. Why didn't my mom just buy the movie?
Prepare yourself for the insanity that is Mater's tall tales.
I used to be a fire truck. What? Daggum right.
Someone call Rescue Squad Mater!
These were a series of shorts that featured Mater telling Lightning McQueen different convoluted stories from his life, like the time he became a fire truck, or a wrestler, or an astronaut, or when he met aliens, or literally time traveled.
Later, Mater. Later, Mater.
And obviously, you'd assume that these are all just made-up stories because they're called tall tales, but at the end of every episode, they're always proven to be true.
That did not happen. Houston has another problem. Roger, Roger. That
Oh,
did
wow.
not happen.
Oh, wow.
Mater, there's no such thing as time travel.
Oh, by the way, I never did get a chance to thank you for introducing me and Stanley.
And that's how you make history.
Okay, but maybe
Wow.
these are just weird, non-canon shorts. They aren't
I mean, has the
necessarily
creator said they're
connected to
canon
the
or
main
not?
Cars movies that we care about, right?
Say Mater did all these crazy things. I'm just wondering what would that even mean? Like, why was this like a bad thing or a theory or
Well,
whatever?
in Cars 3, we can see a poster that proves that Monster Truck Mater did actually happen. The creators had a chance to distance themselves from Mater's tall tales and instead decided to double down and make them officially canon. But the most confusing
Mater's
thing
the
that
MC,
happens in
bro.
all of these shorts is halfway through every episode when Lightning McQueen questions the stories.
Jumping Carburetor Canyon? No way.
Yes, well, you remember. You was there too.
What?
Ready, buddy?
You
I
really
know where
expect
this
me
is
to
going.
believe that?
Well, you should. You was there too.
Mater reveals that Lightning was also in all of these
I
stories,
see where this
despite
is
him
going.
having no memory of being there.
Well,
I
don't
see
you
where this is
remember
going.
you was there too?
What?
But remember, we know these stories are true, so why doesn't McQueen remember? Well, there is a
I don't know,
funny
you're scaring
theory
me,
that
Alex.
Lightning McQueen might have dementia from
Okay.
all of his many, many accidents.
Dementia theory. Okay. I thought we were going down the like Mater supervillain route. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with him. McQueen has taken some
And
damage.
that does feel like the easiest explanation,
McQueen has easily
but there's
taken some
one
damage.
small detail that contradicts it.
Yeah?
In Moon Mater, Mater becomes an astronaut and goes to the moon.
For sure.
He needs a tow.
Where on earth are we gonna get a tow?
Well, that guy's got a tow.
Sends him up to space.
And later, we of course reveal that Lightning McQueen was there too.
No way.
Yes, way. But that was nothing compared to you.
But there's a very strange detail at the start of this episode that
Hit
doesn't
me.
quite make sense. Before Mater gets his astronaut suit, why is he blue? Now, this isn't the first time we've
You
seen
know what?
blue
Yeah,
Mater.
I
In
didn't even
Cars
question
1,
that.
there was a brief flashback that showed Radiator Springs in its prime, and we could see that back then, Mater was a clean blue tow truck.
Okay, so this was before he got rusted up.
So this Moon Mater story must have taken place around
Early on.
that time. But this
Before he met
doesn't
McQueen?
make sense because Lightning McQueen only met Mater after
Oh,
he was covered in years
freak.
worth of dirt and old dents.
Oh,
Morning,
freak,
Sleeping
bro.
Beauty. Boy, I was wondering when you was gonna wake up.
He never knew Mater when he was blue, so how could he have possibly been in this story? So even if Lightning forgot, the timeline still
I'm trying to
doesn't
think of an
make
answer,
sense.
dude,
And
and
it's not
nothing's
like they
coming to mind,
even
bro.
needed to make Mater blue in this short. The creators put in extra effort here just to make their story make less sense, but why? And it's not even just
Right.
Lightning that doesn't remember this.
See, this is one of them classic Alex moments where it's like, dang, why would they do that? It makes no sense. It's almost like they're trying to tell us
A
something.
sense, but why? And it's not even just Lightning that doesn't remember this. In Cars 1, Mater says this about a road Lightning made.
It's like it was paved by angels.
Oh, I tell you what, I bet even the roads on the moon ain't this smooth.
I bet even the roads on the moon
Wouldn't
ain't
you know?
this smooth.
Wouldn't
But
you know?
wait, at this point, hasn't Mater already been to the moon? Isn't I bet kind of a weird thing to say if Mater should know for a fact
Right.
whether or not the moon is this smooth?
You would literally know,
It
my
seems like
boy.
even Mater himself had no memory of this story. A story that is proven to be true at the end of the episode.
That did not happen. Vader! Houston has another problem.
The fact that there's proof at the end of every episode is what really gets me, because you could just be like, he's just lying. But the proof thing is really just like, bruh.
So how does
My-
any
it's
of
hurting my
this
brain.
make sense? It's
It's hurting
almost
my
like
brain.
these stories only become true after Mater tells
them, yeah.
which kind of implies that
My boy can change history. Mater has reality warping god powers. You know, in the first 3 to 4 minutes of this reaction, when I said Mater is a god theory, I didn't expect it to come true.
Look at the way Lightning reacts when we reveal he's also in the stories.
What?
Don't you remember? You was there too.
What?
You was there too.
What?
That was nothing compared to you.
It's not like he'd been there the whole time, it's more like he was literally plucked from time and space and teleported into this story at this exact moment. Just because Mater said the words, "You was there too."
You was there too.
What?
And then there's also the fact that even though...
Is there any type of example of this happening in either of the movies, though?
These stories presumably take place many years ago in many different places, every single time, as soon as Mater finishes telling them, something from the story coincidentally appears right next to them.
Did so?
Did not.
Hello, Doctor.
That did not happen. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
At this point, why would McQueen even like...
Again, it's like the mere act of Mater telling the story is what causes it to happen, which implies that somehow Tow Mater, the simple Radiator Springs tow truck, has the god-level ability to change reality.
Question. Does he know, though? Or is he actually... Is he acting dumb? Or is he actually dumb? You know, is he actually, like, how his personality is? Does he even know that he has these godlike powers, or is it just like he has them and he's just like, you're just using them for these funny instances?
Just by speaking.
Well, you should. You was there too.
Listen, I know this idea sounds really stupid and crazy, but if we look back through the entire Cars franchise with this in mind, suddenly, a lot of the weird inconsistencies in this dumb franchise start to make a lot more sense. Let's start with something small, like Mater's birthplace changing. Originally, we were shown that he was born in Radiator Springs.
You've never been outside Radiator Springs, have you?
Nope.
But in the new Disney Plus show, Cars on the Road, we are told that he was instead born in a rich family and grew up in a mansion on the east side of America.
You grew up here? Yep.
But let's go back and take a look at the first time everyone in Radiator Springs learned about this.
I'd say Mater's been holding out on
Mater is a complicated guy.
Mamma mia, Mater has a sister?
Boggles the mind, man.
Aw, don't you bustle.
Mater's a complicated
Mater
guy.
clearly just told them the story about his family and where he grew up. A story that nobody knew about before.
Wait a minute. You have a sister?
But now is suddenly proven true.
You grew up here?
Yep.
Just like Mater's tall tales. I think this continuity error was caused by Mater's reality warping powers.
You was there too.
In the first Cars movie, we can see a photo of Conehenge, which is the Cars world's version of Stonehenge.
Yeah.
But later, in Cars on the Road, we see it's now been changed to Carhenge.
The sign said, don't touch!
So
this is
why
freaking
is this
me out.
structure so inconsistent? Well, why did McQueen and Mater go to Carhenge in the first place?
Look, you picked the last 3 stops. Carhenge.
Anyway.
Because it was Mater's idea.
You picked the last 3 stops.
He probably previously told Lightning about Carhenge, which caused it to change. Okay, but these are just little inconsistencies. What about something...
I don't know if the birthplace is a like inconsistency. Like that changes Mater's whole origin. And like that changes Mater's complete origin, bro.
Big. How about the fact that the Cars franchise, a pretty simple series about cars racing each other, suddenly decided to make an entire movie about the funny side character becoming an international spy?
Mater, we've got to get that bomb off you.
I don't
Mom,
know.
you.
Oh snap.
Why didn't my death ray kill you?
Oh snap.
Ray? Doesn't that sound more like the plot of a Mater's Tall Tale? Well,
bit.
actually, take a look at what happens at the end of the movie when we cut back to Radiator Springs.
Hit me.
So there we was, guns drawn. We was goners. But
He's
then,
telling the
out of
story.
nowhere, this beautiful spy car swoops in from the sky to safety.
That's a very entertaining story, young man.
Oh, Minnie, please, come on. None of this happened.
No, you're quite right. It does sound a bit far-fetched.
This is Holly Shiftway.
You know what, Alex?
I'm Mater's girlfriend.
Cars 2
You might have
was
done it
a
again.
Mater's Tall Tale.
You
It follows
might
the
have done it
exact
again.
same formula.
That did not happen.
See you later.
Only difference is McQueen believed it this time. He seemed to be agreeing, right?
Come on, none of this
But yeah,
happened.
the whole
I'm
setup there
Macy's
with her
girlfriend.
disagreeing and then her
And
coming
it
in
all
right
happened
after.
just because Mater spoke it into existence. This theory literally makes the insanity of Cars 2 make more sense.
You mean like insurance rate? Like a good neighbor,
Mater
Mater
is
is
there.
there.
This dumb State Farm joke also makes so much more sense now because Mater has the exact same powers from those State Farm commercials.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, Dave.
Is that a real reference to that though?
And the girl from
Specifically?
4E.
That's kind of
And
funny
can I
though.
get a hot tub?
Well, don't
Can I
you
get a
remember
hot
you was there
tub?
too?
What?
Mater is unironically the most powerful character in all of fiction. He could literally beat anyone in a fight just by uttering the words, "You was there too." And I believe that he has been secretly manipulating the events of this entire franchise for his own
And
benefit.
if you don't believe
now,
him,
I don't really
he was
have
there
any
too.
strong evidence to prove this, but to me, the start of the first Cars movie also kind of feels like another Tall Tale.
Morning, Sleeping Beauty.
You're not gonna convince me that Mater made Lightning McQueen exist. You're not gonna do this to me right now. You're not gonna do this to me right now. You can convince me the Spy Lady, he made the Spy Lady glitch, but nah.
I was wondering when you was gonna wake up.
Take whatever you want. Just don't hurt me.
A famous race car just happens to accidentally get stuck in the same town as Mater, and they become best friends for life, and he decides to never leave because Mater is just so cool.
My best friend, what are you gonna do?
That just kind of sounds like something Mater would make up to manifest a cool, famous best friend.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I knowed I made a good choice.
In what?
My best friend.
Also, the way that Lightning gets stuck in Radiator Springs requires so many insane, unlikely coincidences that all have to happen perfectly at the same time that it kind of feels like it was caused by
Bro, I'm almost like sitting here thinking, what if it's just like everything's in Mater's head? Like the whole being proven true part, like, you know.
some kind of divine intervention. Both Lightning and his transport
That's
truck
a lot more boring though. I wonder if Alex thought about
needed to
that.
fall asleep at this exact part of the interstate, and also
All
at
of-
the same
all of
time,
Cars
these
takes
random
place in-
hooligans
in-
needed to show up
in
and
Mater's
decide to
head.
mess with Mac.
Yo, Wingo, lane change, man.
And also, this Lightning McQueen toy needed to fall at the right time and land on this specific button that opens the back of the truck. And also, this guy needed to sneeze at this exact moment to cause Lightning to fall out of the truck.
I mean, that's crazy if that is.
And also,
Anything's
there needed to be
possible.
a similar looking red truck nearby to confuse Lightning into driving towards Radiator Springs.
Mac! Mac! You're not Mac.
And also, this
You're
cop
not
needed to be here, and his engine needed to be backfiring, which caused Lightning to think that he was being shot at,
He's shooting at me. Why is he shooting at me?
which caused him to drive uncontrollably into Radiator Springs and wreck the town, which finally caused them to imprison Lightning in the town with Mater.
Yeah, that's
You was there
crazy.
too.
Every single one of those insane coincidences needed
That's
to
10
happen at that
coincidences.
exact moment for Lightning McQueen to meet Mater and
That's life though. That's life
become his
though.
best friend. Which honestly makes more sense if it was all somehow actually divine intervention from Mater.
I knowed I made a good choice.
In what?
My best friend. You was there too.
He was there
Now,
too.
how
I'm
did
never getting
Mater
that out of my
obtain
brain
this
now.
god power? I honestly do not know. And believe me,
Mater
I
is
have
God.
looked everywhere in every piece of Cars media for an explanation.
My boy
I
even
even
watched
read
planes.
the fucking comic books, but unfortunately, there is nothing. Mater just has this ability to change reality for some unexplained reason, and he is using it to live his best life
Yeah.
and go on fun
He's
adventures
literally
with his
just
best
living a good
friend,
life.
Lightning
At least Mater's a
McQueen.
good person,
Would
right?
you like to come and see the world with me?
You mean it?
And you know what? good for him. We can even see in the Cars 2 credits that after the movie, they travel the weird car-shaped world together and visit all the great car wonders of the world. And of course, they climb the iconic weird car-shaped mountains of this weird franchise. And that is my Cars theory.
Was that not a Mater-shaped mountain, bro?
Shaped mountains of this weird franchise. And that is my Cars theory. So thank you
not gonna bring
very
that up,
much
Alex?
for watching.
There's something else.
Hang on a second. Is this world's Matterhorn shaped like Mater? And yeah, look, it's even been renamed to be spelled like him.
Mater.
Wait a second. There is an all-powerful car god out there that has shaped and renamed the world into his image. Wait, is Mater the reason why everything is cars? Is Mater just straight up God?
Yo, I cannot believe, like, first few minutes of this video, I swear I said Mater is God theory. I threw that out there as a joke. I actually threw that out there as a joke,
franchise,
bro.
Everything is cars, except
there is
one contradiction to that shows up repeatedly in almost every piece of Cars media. The logo for Dinoco kind of looks like a real dinosaur for some reason. The Dinoco logo. Dinoco is one of the racing brands that shows up all the time in this franchise, and their logo is a silhouette of a big dinosaur. But it's not the dino cars that we've seen in museums, it's clearly just a regular, non-car shaped dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's a weird contradiction to the everything is car rule that pops up all over this franchise. Now, if there is some kind of car god that shaped the world into cars, why would he be so inconsistent with dinosaurs? It's a strange thing to leave out. It's almost like whoever created this world didn't know much about dinosaurs. Huh. Does that remind you of anyone?
I don't know much about these dino things. What happened to the dinosaurs now? I don't know much about these dino things. Well, dadgum, McQueen, boy, I tell you what, I sure do like me some cars. Wouldn't it be fun if everything was cars?
I don't know about that, Mater. That doesn't really make any sense.
Well, shoot, you should know, McQueen. You was there, too.
What?
Man, I don't know, y'all. Do I believe this? Do I believe this theory? I believe it's possible. I believe it's very somehow a possibility that either A, Mater's a god, or B, I feel like more likely it's all in like Mater's head. Like he's some kid and this is all just in Mater's head. Right? Possibility. It's genuinely a possibility with how this is, you know, going on, because or you know, like you can say, oh yeah, it's just a cartoon, but like one of these two things has to be true. Like Mater has god powers, and I respect that, and Mater has my respect, and he's a pretty much a cosmic being. I don't know how to feel. You know, subscribe to Alex Bale, subscribe to me. Like, I don't know how to feel right now. Love you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!